morning. My name is Francia. Today's class, we're going to be doing our Vinyasa for all levels. And I do think we're going to be using a couple of yoga blocks, so just have them nearby, just in case. And then let's come to a comfortable seated position. And we'll just begin with a moment of mindfulness. Close the eyes, soften the shoulders. Feel your sits bones and your shins, tops of your feet, your thighs rooted and grounded through the earth. And just take a few moments to kind of settle in to any sensations of the body. Observing or noticing any sounds or smells around. And see if we can just find ourselves into a nice centered position. As we exhale, let's draw the palms at the center of the heart, and we'll open the sacred space of our practice with one sound, Om. Inhale for Om. Gently release the hands down back to the lap. Exhale, drop the chin towards the chest, and let's start with a little bit of movement through the neck. So maybe chin towards one shoulder, chin towards the other shoulder, making a U shape. If you feel like you want to stop somewhere along the way and give yourself a little bit of extra time in that spot, that feels good. Just allow yourself time to do anything that feels right for your body here. And then gently coming back to center, inhaling, blinking the eyes open, lifting the chin, rolling the shoulders back. All right, so let's go ahead and engage the pelvic floor. So imagine, bring your awareness to the pelvic floor muscles and then draw those pelvic floor muscles up and in, lifting through the rib cage, lifting to the chest, and kind of bringing the shoulder blades back towards each other, nice and upright. As we exhale, let's release the fingertips down to the floor, relax through the shoulders, but keep pressing down through the soles, through the tops of the feet, and through the sits bones. So you're feeling rooted and grounded. From here, we're just going to walk the right hand forward and the left hand back. An easy rotation, almost like you're lining yourself up with your left knee. And then again, inhale, extending spine. Exhale. Good. And then gently coming back to that center position, allowing the body to rise. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Left hand right in front, right hand behind, and then lining your chest up with your right knee this time. And you can gaze down towards the right knee or maybe look forward, but we're not going into this any deep rotation here. We're just starting to wake up the spine. Inhale. And exhale, coming back through to center. Relax the shoulders, kind of shake it out a little bit. Inhale, draw the arms up, creating space through both sides of the body. Exhale, release them back down. Again, inhale, draw them up. Reach to the fingertips, feel the opening happening here underneath the arms. Exhale, release them down. One more time. Inhale, rise with the arms. Extend and lift, reach to the fingertips, press down to the sits bones, feel yourself grounded and rooted. Exhale, release down. Good. And then again, a little shake, shimmy or shake through the shoulders. Moving along again through the neck. So right ear, pressing down towards the right shoulder. Feel that stretch to the side of the neck. I watched this video yesterday about the lymphatic system and how so many of the yoga poses that we do help to strengthen the lymphatic system and help us to drain out the toxins in the body. So we're going to include some of those in our practice today. And then exhale, bring the chin down towards that right shoulder. If you want a little extra stretch, maybe that left hand can press down to the floor, or you can use your right hand to help guide your head a little deeper into the stretch. Up to you. Kind of feels good for me to just hang here. And then slowly bring the right ear back to that shoulder, open and gaze comes forward. And then release left hand, gently come to center. Again, a little shimmy, little wiggle. Observe how the neck feels, and we'll do the other side. Left ear to left shoulder. And just kind of notice there, the nice pull on the right side, a little bit of a compression through the left. And then exhale, left chin towards left shoulder. And again, staying there if that feels good. Or pressing right hand down towards the floor. And if it feels even better for you, maybe using that left hand to add a little extra weight. deciding if that's what your body needs today or not. Softening through that opposite shoulder, gazes down towards the mat. And then inhale, lift the chin, left ear towards left shoulder. Release right hand, coming back to center. And again, shake it all out. Good. Now let's reverse this positioning for our feet. So whatever foot was in front, go ahead and switch. And we'll start again in that same kind of lifting up to the pelvic floor, engaging through the lower belly, pressing the fingertips onto the floor, feeling that lift. It's almost like you want to hover off the floor by pressing into your fingertips. And you start to feel this maybe in your inner thighs and in your hips. And then now, instead of the twisting all the way, bring that left hand in front, keep the right hand right where it is, and just gently fold over that right leg. So we're just kind of allowing that left, the opposite knee, to relax down towards the floor. You can stay here with your fingers, using them as props, or gliding your hands forward and see if you can go a little deeper. And we'll just hold here for maybe about 3 to 4 breaths. Soften through the shoulders. 1. Gaze down right in front of that right knee. 2. Calm, steady, easy breathing. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, walk the fingertips in, lift the chest, and just make your way back to center. Again, extend, observe the difference between that right side and left side, and we'll go to the other side. Right hand in front, left hand stays put right where it is, and then exhale, fold over the left leg this time, allowing the right thigh and right knee to stay grounded. So don't let that leg come up with you. Keep it down. And then as we fold, we're opening the chest, so we're rotating a bit here, left shoulder back, right shoulder forward. And you can stay here propped up with your hands, or again, walking those hands forward, finding a little bit more of a stretch, lengthening through the chest and shoulders, and folding easy, gazing down towards the left knee. 1, 2, 3, steady, easy breathing. 4. You may find your chest can actually physically rest on that left thigh, or maybe really far away. Wherever you are, just stay with your breath. And 5. Inhale, lengthen up the spine. Exhale, walk the hands back in and gently come back to center. Okay, some side bending here. Left hand on the floor. Inhale, right arm up. Reach the right fingertips, extend. And then if you want, see if you can take it a little bit over. Now I'm keeping my left arm kind of hugged in towards my body, but it might be a little bit more accessible for you to extend that arm. So you choose here the position of your supporting arm. As you reach and extend, open the chest slightly, maybe gaze out towards the right armpit, reaching through the fingertips. Again, decide where you want this left arm to be. Maybe you go a little deeper, maybe that left elbow can rest on the floor. And inhale, rise back up. Other side, inhale, lengthen left arm up. Extend, find reach to that left side, relax the left shoulder down, and then exhale, fold over to the side. Again, deciding here how you want your supporting arm to support you, whether you need it close to your body or whether you want it extended away. And then as you start to find that nice stretch to the left side, that nice lateral stretch, open the chest and gaze out from underneath left armpit, pressing and reaching to the fingertips. Keep that left leg, that opposite leg, rooted and grounded because it does like to come up. And again, if you'd like to extend that arm, maybe soften to the elbow, go a little bit deeper, totally up to you. You reach, find your pose, and then inhale, slowly come back up. Exhale, release the arms, shake it out a bit. Good. Let's come to our kneeling position. We'll start with some sequencing. So our first movement here, we'll start with tabletop position. Open up the fingers so that they are kind of hanging off the mat and the insides of the elbows are pointing forward. And then let's just go kind of side to side. Warm up the wrists a bit. We're going to do some stuff with planks and down dogs. So we want our wrists to be nice and warm. So just side to side. You're almost like moving your chest from one side to the other. And You want to try to keep the elbows straight, but be careful not to hyperextend. I know like I have a little bit of hyperextension in my elbow, so a little softness in the elbows might be necessary for you. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Good. And then come to center. Now, separate your knees a little wider than your hips and tuck the toes under. This time, turn the fingers in towards your body. So the closer you are to your body, the more accessible this will feel. The further away you are from your body, the more intense it will feel. So you want your pinkies to be barely touching, almost touching, but not really. It's like they want to kiss, but not really. And then the insides of your elbows are again pointing forward. So again, you choose how far forward or back you want to be. And then again, a little bit of rocking forward and back. Be very mindful here of your elbows, of your wrists. Allow your fingers to squeeze the mat. And that's going to keep a little bit of sense of support and engagement through the hands and the wrists. This is a really good stretch if you type a lot all day, if you spend your day typing and or carpal tunnel type of injuries, things like that. This is really good for those. All right, so slowly come back to center, release one hand, release the other, sit back onto the heels, and then let's shake out those hands and wrists and elbows and arms, just let it all loosen up. Okay, coming back to tabletop position. Settle yourself in so that you're supported by your hands and your knees. And let's move a little bit into cat and cow. Inhale, open heart, lift chest, tilt the tailbone up. Exhale, curl it under. Inhale, up. Exhale, curl it under. Last one. Inhale, up. Exhale, curl it under. And gently come to flat back. Inhaling, taking left leg back, point to the toes, stretch that left leg. So you want to try to press that left heel away. Grounding and rooted through the hands and fingers. Try to feel that stretch of the whole left side. Inhale, lift the leg, point the toe. Exhale there. Now let's add on. Inhale, right arm extends forward. You can stay on your fingertips to find your balance. Exhale there. Inhale, right arm can lift parallel to the floor, reaching and lengthening in opposite directions. Exhale there. Good. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, lower down. Round the back into cat. And curl into cow. And back to center. Other side. Right leg extends. Point the toes down, press to the back heel. So we're finding the stretch to the right leg. Strong fingers grounded and rooted. Exhale. Inhale, right leg comes up. Find it parallel to the floor. Press to that right toe. Hold there and breathe. Now adding on, left arm can extend forward. Just stay on your fingertips if you need balance. Otherwise, exhale. And then inhale, last extension, reach to the fingertips, reach to the toe, roll the shoulders back and down, stay firm through your right arm and left hip. Exhale, lower everything down. Round into cat. And sway into cow. Open heart, lift chest. Exhale, back to center. Good. Separate the knees, bring the big toes together, and let's take a little break here in our balasana. So reach the arms forward, forehead to the floor, soften the shoulders. These little spots of, I call them breaks, but they're not really truly breaks because this is a posture and we are actually working. Even if you're completely relaxing into it, there's that deep flexion that's happening in the hips and the deep extension in the shoulders. So these moments allow us time to kind of come back to our breath, reconnect, not only with the breathing, but with the kind of sensations of the body, with what's going on with self. Let's do one more deep breath. And exhale, lift the head, and let's gently walk the hands as far right as possible. Maybe even lining your chest up over your right knee. And then again, fold Perhaps the forehead can come to the floor or on top of the right knee. We're still in the Balasana shape, so the hips are down to the heels. We're just getting a lateral stretch. Easy, steady breathing. One more breath. Remembering you can make these types of postures as engaged or as relaxed as you like. And then inhale again, lift the head, walk the fingertips now all the way to the left side. So we're reaching laterally towards the left, and then forehead to the knee or forehead to the floor. Allow your body to rest here or to find engagement as you press firmly into the palms. Lateral right side, feeling that deep, deep stretch. Hips stay down, steady breathing. One more breath. Exhale, slowly lift the head. Walk those fingertips back to center. Lengthen your body one more time. See if you can bring your chest towards the mat. Maybe even bring your chin down. Let your arms rest fully. Imagine your armpits one day touching down with the floor. Really find your length through your whole body here. And then inhale, rolling ourselves back to tabletop, bringing the knees in and just kind of wiggle around side to side and just observe those nice, actually really good warm up for the hips. Okay, let's tuck the toes under. Inhale, lift through the hips and exhale, downward facing dog. Find your downward facing dog. I love to do my first down dog with knees super, super bent. Because here's where I get to really kind of connect with that length from the fingertips to the shoulders and from the shoulders to the hips. So the head hangs heavy, the arms are strong. There's softness in the knees that don't prevent you from finding that length because the hamstrings are not really included in this posture with the knees bent. So as we draw in and hollow out through the belly, maybe start to pedal out the legs. Bring one heel down to the floor and then the other. Kind of alternating here side to side. And maybe you start to sway a little bit more side to side here, if that feels good. And then lastly, if your body is ready, maybe try and press both heels towards the floor and find the full version of your downward facing dog. And again, your full version of the posture is going to look different day by day and person by person. One more breath. And exhale, looking forward, walk or step your feet about halfway up the mat. We're going to continue with our hanging forward fold. So again, soften the knees and try to get your rib cage and your thighs to meet. You can either hold on to your opposite elbows. We're going to give the elbows and the wrists a break here. And I always like to kind of wiggle myself down. And then as you feel better here, again, knees stay soft, let your head drop, and just hang here for a moment. Start to play with the balance of your body, rolling the weight forward to the balls of your feet and the toes and back towards the heels. If you feel like this is a little bit disorienting, because it is an inversion, our heads are below the heart, you're welcome to bring the fingertips to the floor, and that gives you a little bit more support. So that's an option for you too. One more breath. And then keeping the arms either on the fingertips on the floor or holding on to opposite elbows. Let's bend the knees a little bit more, like almost like you're coming into a squat. And then exhale, try to straighten as much as you can. Inhale, bend. So using a little bit of mobility here. Exhale, straighten. Really working on that length of the hamstrings. Two more. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Last one. Bend and straighten. And then we hold the straight position. So again, as we find that straight position, those arms need to hang heavy and we roll or play with the weight as we move forward and back. Notice how that feels in the hips. And clearly in the hamstrings and in the backs of the knees and in the calves, the whole posterior chain of the body. the lower back, middle and upper back, the back of the neck, the back of the shoulders, everything back there is really kind of finding itself a nice long line. There's an engagement in the front part of the body. The quads are engaged. The abdomen is long. And there's a little bit of openness in the throat. And then exhale, release the fingertips, press the fingertips into the floor, lift halfway, kind of shake out those legs. That's a lot of work for the hamstrings. Grab yourself a yoga block and place it right in front. Moving into some twisting. Right hand on the floor. Inhale, left arm up. Open the chest. Exhale, release. Left hand down, right arm up. You can, if you like, bend your knees nice and deeply here instead of keeping your legs straight. Let's do that one more side the same way. Right hand down, left arm up. Flowing through. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up. Opening the chest. Now we're going to add some movement of the legs. As the right hand comes down and the left hand lifts, right knee bends. So we're opening and twisting through the torso, reaching out through left fingertips, looking up. Exhale, straighten right leg. Left hand comes down. Right arm lifts with the inhale. Left knee bends this time. And twist and rotate, looking up towards right fingertips. Strong left hand, reach to the fingertips. Open chest. And exhale, come back down. Good. Release again once more. Move the block over to the side. Plant your hands on the floor. A little bit of a handstand plank. So if we imagine our weight being on our feet, take your hands about a foot or so in front of your toes. Press strong into your fingers. Protract your shoulders and just roll the weight forward to the hands. So you're keeping your feet on the floor. You're just pushing them to the hands. So it feels like a plank, but you're not with your legs back. And then exhale, roll it back. So if you have tight hamstrings, you might need to do this with bent knees. Roll the weight forward, still keep the knees soft, but bring the weight to the shoulders and the wrists. Exhale, bring it back. Let's do two more. Inhale, roll it forward, weight forward, protract the shoulders, press into the floor, gazing down towards the thumbs. Exhale back, release the head. Last one. Inhale forward, strong, strong shoulders. Exhale, release it back, release the head. Good. Now go ahead and walk the feet back, come to a regular high plank. So now we really feel the weight over the shoulders. Strong, strong fingers, core engaged, steady breathing. 1, 2, 3, almost there. 4 and 5. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, opening heart, lifting chest. Exhale, downward facing. Good. Now adding on another sequence here as we find our downward facing dog. Again, pedaling or moving if that's comfortable for you, or finding stillness. We're going to take that left heel and point it in towards the center line of the body. So there's an external rotation of that left hip. And just take a moment, actually, let's do that a couple times. Left heel turns in, feel the rotation of the hip. Nothing else really changes. So the hands and the right foot stay the same. Just that left heel pivots in and back out. Let's do it 2 more times. Exhale, left heel pivots in. Feel the changes that happen in the shoulders and in the waist, and back out. Good. Last one. Exhale, left heel pivots in. And then with the inhale, we look forward and we're going to step that right foot forward between the hands. So kind of wiggle your right foot forward as much as you can. Keep your left foot grounded and also in that same pivot shape. Grab your yoga blocks and we're going to place them one on either side of that right foot. And come up, find lift in your hands, maybe a little bit of bend and straighten through that right knee. Remember, your blocks can be at any level that suits your body today. I have them in this middle level, but you can have them lower or you can have them higher. So you get to choose. If you don't have yoga blocks at home, I think most of my peeps taking these classes recorded or live have yoga blocks, but you can also use books. Big, thick books are very helpful. Okay, so once you've kind of wiggled around through your hip, bend into the right knee, Plant your right hand on the block and let's open that left arm up. Sitting strong through that right knee, reach the left fingertips and just open the chest. Calm, steady breath. That left heel is still pivoting down into the floor. And exhale, left hand down and try to straighten through that right leg. If you cannot straighten fully, no worries. Just go as straight as your body will allow. If there's extra room for you to stretch here, see if you can fold over that right leg. And since we have the blocks, maybe utilize the blocks to bring your elbows to it. Another option is if your blocks are at a higher level, it's definitely a lot easier to bring your elbows to it. So you can try that as well. Let's hold 2 more breaths, or you can stay on your hands as long as you're feeling the stretch in the back of that right leg. 2 and 1. Inhale, press into the hands back onto the block. Pivot your left heel off the floor, come back into that lunge. A little bit different now with the left toe on the floor, the left heel lifted, a little bit of movement forward and back. So it's not about straightening and bending the right knee. It's more about moving your weight forward and your weight back. You want to feel this in that back leg, the front of the left hip. Just a couple times. And then finding your center. Again, bending to that right knee strong, staying rooted and grounded. Now that left hand stays on the block and the right arm opens out. So we're rotating through the chest. The left heel is off the mat and just the toes are pressing down. Sit strong through the hips, reach the right fingertips. Steady, easy breathing. Good, and exhale, back through to center. Let's slide that left foot in just a little bit and then straighten right leg. The left heel may not come to the floor. So it's similar to what we were doing before, but that left heel is up and your left foot is not off to the side. There's no exterior tilt of that hip. There's just equal hips, both hips facing forward. And then in the same way, if you feel you have room, fold and or bring elbows to blocks, release head, or just stay on your hands with your elbows soft. Try not to bend through this right knee too much. The softness in the knee is okay, but see if you can lengthen your body and pull the right hip back and away. Almost there. See if you can feel that deepening stretch and through the back of the right leg. Strength coming in from the back of the left leg. And then inhale, press into the hands. Lift halfway up. Exhale, bend the left knee, bend the right knee, bring the feet back. Come to your downward facing dog. So if your blocks are in the middle or lower level, you can keep them. But if they're in the higher level, bring them either to the middle or lower. You don't want to do this with your blocks like that. Either the full low or that middle height is good. And then just stay here in your downward facing dog for a few breaths. It's a little bit of a different down dog. You might already be feeling the sensations in the shoulders. And then inhale, look forward. Release the blocks or just move them off to the side for a moment so we can work on that external rotation on the right side. So coming to a regular downward facing dog with the hands on the floor. And just remember, this is just the pivot of that right foot. So as you look towards your feet, they're perpendicular to each other, about hip width. Just pivot right heel in. You're pivoting on the ball of your right foot. And then exhale back to center. So just do that a couple of times so you can start to feel the rotation, external rotation of the right hip, and start to notice how it affects the rest of your body, how it transfers weight a little bit more to your left side than it would otherwise. Let's do 2 more. Pivot in and pivot out. Good. Last one. Pivot in. That heel presses down. Don't be too quick to pivot back out. And now that we're pivoted back out, actually, no, we got to stay in. Pivot in and hold. And then from here, look forward towards the hands. And we're going to step that left foot all the way forward between the hands. Now we grab our blocks again. Place them on either side of that left foot. Come up and lift a little bit. And then again, we're rolling that weight forward and back. This is a little bit more of a bending and straightening of the left knee, but you want to feel this working in the back leg as well. So we're trying to play with finding our mobility and our flexibility. When you reach the point where your body kind of pulls a lot and you feel like it's a struggle, maybe stop and hold there for a few breaths and see if there's any way for you to find a little bit of release. And then go ahead and bend that left knee as far as you can get it, pressing that right foot firmly into the floor. We bring the left hand to the block and then open up through the right side, reaching up, gazing towards right fingertips, sitting the hips down and firm, back leg is nice and engaged, shoulders are stacked, steady, easy breathing, and exhale. Right hand comes down, keeping that right leg just like it is. Try to straighten through that left leg. And take a couple moments here, extend through the spine. Move the left hip back. That right leg is still in the external rotation. And then when you're ready, maybe folding, softening through the elbows, or you can slide the blocks back a bit and bring your elbows to the blocks. Remember, you can always lift them so your blocks can be a little bit higher, and that would make this a little bit more comfortable. But if you want to challenge yourself, keep those blocks lowered, or maybe some of you be able to bring those elbows to the floor. Who knows? Don't know until you try. One more breath. And slowly inhale, lift the head, slide the hands back onto the blocks, lift the chest, slide the blocks forward, back towards that left foot, bend the left knee, and then now lift the heel off the floor and press the toes down. So we're back more in our traditional lunge. And then again, moving that weight forward and back. As we press forward, we come to the toes, and we press back, we press through the heel. What kind of sensations arise for you here as we move into the hips and into the legs? And sometimes naming them is important. Like if we say, oh, there's a tingling or a tightness somewhere, but sometimes just saying, hey, there is a sensation in my left knee or in my right hip or in my left toe, just observing that it's there. And then coming to the full lunge now with the right toes on the floor, left knee stacked over ankle, right hand on the floor this time, and then left arm opens out for a twist. Gazing up towards left fingertips, rotating through the shoulders, sitting down strong, right leg nice and straight, right leg nice and contracted, strong, strong, strong body. Exhale, left hand down. And again, maybe sliding that right foot a little bit closer and then straighten that left leg. So if the right heel doesn't come down, it's okay. We're not pivoting like we did before. We're keeping that right heel straight back. So shortening the distance might become a little bit more comfortable for you. And then once you're there, you can slide those blocks back slightly so that you can have them stacked underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen, pressing the left hip back. Exhale, folding, softening through the elbows and deciding if you want to stay here or if it feels good to rest the elbows on the blocks. Easy, steady breathing. Keep engaging the left hip. So you want to keep moving that left hip up and back. And again, even if there's a little softness in the left knee, there's still that lengthening of the left hip back. So go where your body allows. Remember, if it's folding is too much, coming to this half lift is perfectly okay place to be, as long as you're feeling your body working. Let's hold 2 more breaths. Last one. And then pressing into the blocks. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, straighten that left leg. Walking the block slightly forward and then take that left foot back. Find your downward facing dog with your hands on the blocks. And let's stay here for a moment. Maybe pedaling or walking out the knees and just kind of settling in. And exhale, slowly bring the knees down to the floor. We're going to use one yoga block for our posture, but we're going to try it without it first. So down puppy, press the tops of the feet on the floor, knees together, thumbs touching, and then start to slide your hands away. If your mat doesn't let you slide, just walk your hands as far away from you as possible, reaching the chin down and then letting the forehead come to the floor. So we start by reaching the chin, but then we let the forehead rest. The deep stretch here in the shoulders. Nice back bending as well. Keep lengthening through the arms. If it feels good, maybe come to the tips of the fingers. Again, adding only when you're ready. Steady breathing. Observe the sensations of the body and the limits your body is giving you. Come out of the posture only if you feel pain, but if there is discomfort, see if you can stay with the discomfort. Be okay with it. One more breath. And exhale, press the palms down. Lift the head, slide the hands underneath the shoulders. And then let's move into some cat and cows. Inhale, open heart, lift chest. Exhale, curl it under. Inhale, open heart, lift chest. Exhale, curl it under. Good. We're going to repeat that same posture, but we're going to change it up a little bit. So this time we're going to take that right arm out towards the outside edge here of your mat. And then this left arm, you can kind of slide forward as you start to slide yourself forward. It's the same posture that we just did, but the left elbow is going to rest on the floor. And then you can let your head rest down, either on the arm or on the floor, wherever it feels good. Well, it doesn't really feel good. It's an awkward posture, but you know what I mean, wherever your body will allow it to be. So you're feeling that deep lateral stretch of the right side. The right arm is engaged. You're not resting into the right arm. The left arm you're using for support. And then inhale, slowly press into that left arm. Come back to center. Take a moment to kind of come out of that posture. That can be pretty intense. We'll do the other side. So walk the right hand out, left pinky edge of the fingers on the mat. Slide it forward, bring the right elbow down, reach, and then rest the head. You don't want to feel tension in your neck here, but the left arm is deeply engaged. You're not sinking into that left arm. Imagine reaching your left armpit towards the floor. Calm, steady breath. Still, even though that right arm, the one that has the elbow on the floor, is supporting you, move the right shoulder away from the ear. And inhale, lift the head, slide yourself back to center, come back to tabletop, wiggle it out a bit. Okay, so now grab your yoga block and we're going to do the same posture, but with the hands on the block. So if you found that the first version was hard enough, don't worry about the block, just keep your hands on the floor. So hands on the block, and then again, you're going to actually start to slide that block away and bring the forehead down and find your posture here. So the block just allows for a little deeper stretch in the shoulders. Steady breathing. One more breath. And slowly lift the head, inhaling, come off the block, back to your tabletop, move it around a little bit, shake it out, maybe some wiggles, some cat and cows, and then open the knees, sit down onto the heels. This time, bring the hands towards the feet, come to your balasana, forehead back to the mat. I like to give the forehead a little massage, so maybe just rocking your head side to side. And slowly coming back to center. Inhale, come to seated position. Okay, so we'll start in our hero's pose with the knees together. If this is not accessible, remember you can place a block between your feet and sit on the block. Hands are on the knees, nice tall lifted chest, shoulders back, gaze down to the bridge of your nose. We're gonna do some cat and cows in the seated position. So exhale, curl it under, round the back, tuck the chin, press the shoulder blades away from each other. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, coming into your cat stretch, opening heart, lifting chest. And then again, exhale, curl to your seated cow. Inhale, lift. Sorry, that was cat. To your seated cow. Now this is cow. Last time. Exhale, curl to your seated cat. Inhale, lift to your seated cow. Keep the elbows soft and allow the shoulders to move back, chest moves forward, throw your chin up to open up the throat. And exhale, coming back to center. Good. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind, gaze over left shoulder. Easy twist. Keep extending through the spine with each inhale, and then rotating and twisting with each exhale. One more breath. And gently release, other side, left hand to right knee, right hand behind you, stay on your fingertips, open the chest, look over right shoulder. Each inhale lifts, each exhale rotates. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rotate. One more time. And exhaling, slowly coming back through to center. Gonna shake out the shoulders. Cross your feet behind you. Place your hands by your knees. Inhale, pick everything up. Slide your feet forward and sit down. Okay, good. Let's move on to some floor movements. So make sure you have enough mat behind you. Roll all the way back and down, and have your blocks nearby because we're going to use them for a couple of resting postures in a moment. So let's start with simple bridge. Feet are about hip width apart, hands are down by your sides. And let's just begin by observing that tilt of the pelvis. So when we tuck under, the glutes engage, the belly button pushes into the spine, and there's this little bit of a tilt forward. As we tilt the other way, the middle back lifts, and then the glutes relax and the tailbone presses down. So just kind of repeat, sway through those two movements here at the pace of your own breath. Just the pelvis is engaging here, pelvis and waist a little bit. So we're not really pressing into the legs just yet. You're really starting to hopefully feel this as you move into the engagement of the glutes, especially in the tuck under. All right, so now we're going to add a little bit of pressure into the soles of the feet. So tuck under, press a little bit into the soles of the feet so that the hips start to lift, and maybe they lift to their about in line with the knee. So we're not going for the back bending, we're actually going for the strengthening. So as the hips lift up, press into the shoulders, gaze down to the bridge of the nose. Let's stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, start to lower it down, relax, and then do the opposite tilt just to release. And then let's do that again. Curl it under. Inhale, only lift up till you're about a diagonal line, no higher than that. Just stay grounded through the feet. Hips are at the same level as the shoulders and the knees, all in one line. 1, 2, 3. You can press into your arms a bit to stay lifted using your legs, your quads, and your glutes. 4, and 5. Exhale, release it down. Good. And then tilt the opposite way. All right, so wherever your feet were before, if they were closer to your hands, slide them slightly away. So a little bit further away. It's going to be a little harder, a little bit more work in the hands. All right, here we go. Inhale, tilt it and tuck it under and lift it up about that nice diagonal line, pressing into the feet strong, and don't allow your shoulders to slide back and away from you. Keep your shoulders grounded. 2, 3, a little different feeling in the legs. 4 and 5. Exhale, lower down. A little bit of an opposite tilt just to release. And last one. Inhale, lift it up. Press into the feet, strong glutes, strong legs, hips stay lifted, shoulders back. Maybe you feel this in the fronts of the hip flexors. 1. Maybe you feel it only in your calves and thighs. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, slowly lower down and tilt the other way. So extend the tailbone down, lift the rib cage, big space between the lower back and the floor. And then exhale, come back to center. All right, now we're going to use our block to help open up the front of the hips. So lift the hips just enough to place the block at its lowest level underneath the sacrum. Once the block is in place, slide one leg out straight. You can point or flex through the foot and then slide the other leg. So hopefully this is supportive enough for you. You should not be feeling this in your lower back. Allow your body to engage by lifting the rib cage up and maybe taking your arms and extending them up overhead or bringing them to cactus. So again, you get to choose here. Really what we're trying to do is really open up the front of the hips. And don't worry if this doesn't feel like it's much of a stretch for you. We will add on in a moment. But just soften in here. Even if it doesn't feel like you're stretching much, allow yourself to be in the present moment. Enjoy the fact that you don't have to work so hard. If this feels like a deep stretch for you, still same thing. Enjoy being in the present moment. And the fact that you're using your body to create health and strength and flexibility. You're putting in the work to reap the benefits for the years to come. One more breath. And then exhale, let's lower the arms down by your sides. Bend one knee, bend the other. And then the option here is to either repeat the exact same thing we just did, or to lift the block to that middle height, that rectangle shape. Align your sacrum on the floor, align your shoulders flat, and then same way, we're going to extend one leg, extend the other leg, find ourselves balanced. Again, try not to put pressure at your lower back. The block is below your lower back, so the block should be right at the sacrum, not at the glutes, not at the back. And then decide what you want to do with your arms. Maybe you keep them side by side. Maybe you bring them to cactus or up overhead, or any variation that feels right for you. Keep pressing through the heels to create the sense of openness in the front of the hip flexors. Also, this stretches the psoas muscle, which runs inside that area as well. So this is a really nice multi-purpose stretch. Hold here and breathe. 1, 2. Also, if you try elevating to the middle level and it's creating some tightness or some pain, you can always go back to the lower level. 3, 4, the chin is tucked in towards the chest, compressing through the throat. Again, a nice little thing for our thymus gland, which helps our lymphatic system, is part of our lymphatic system. 4, and 5. Let's exhale, release the arms down first, and then bend one knee, bend the other, and kind of come into this nice supported bridge here for a moment. Relax the shoulders. All right, our last posture before we do some twisting will be Viparita Karani. So come up to the toes, And then everybody, let's lower the block down to the lowest level once more. Let the sacrum sink onto the block. And then when you're ready, bring the knees up. And I always like to adjust myself on the block. Sometimes I need to move up or down, but take a moment to adjust and extend the legs when you're ready. If you have an actual wall nearby, just bringing your butt and your block towards the wall so you can let your legs rest up on the wall, that is a good option. In fact, I have a whole sequence for the wall for tomorrow for our drills class. So that's going to be fun. Keep the toes kind of pointing up, maybe wiggle through the toes or flex through the ankles, point and flex. Move around a little bit if that feels good, or be still. You can actually close your eyes, begin to settle the body, starting our way into our conclusion of our practice. Couple more deep breaths. Last breath. And then with the next exhale, begin to bend the knees and start to lower the feet towards the floor. I love paying some attention here to the sensations of the feet. That warm or cold feeling that runs through, the tingling that comes as soon as your feet start pointing down towards the floor and the blood begins to rush back all the way to the toes. As we exhale, start to lower the toes down all the way towards the mat, using control of your abdomen to lower down with control. Once the feet are flat, inhale, lift the hips, slide the block out to the side, and exhale, lower down. Good. Go ahead and extend that left leg, bring the right knee in towards the chest. Find a little bit of a stretch here, and we'll go for our final twist, taking that right knee up and over all the way to the left. Don't want to hit the mic, so I'm going to move slightly to the side here. And then once your knee is down, bring your right hand to your right shoulder and open up. We're going to do this twist a little different. Normally, I advise to keep the shoulder down. We're actually going to bring the knee down to the floor. So use your hand to help guide it. Use your right hand to help guide your shoulder. It's okay if your shoulder doesn't touch, but you can reach your right arm up and over, gaze towards the sky, or gaze out towards the right. It's nice to mix up the type of twist that we do. It's nice to mix up the areas that we focus on. That way we have a nice rounded practice, very well-rounded practice. And one more breath, inhale. Exhale, gaze back to center, knee back to center, hug it in towards the body. And exhale, release. Good. Now we do the other side. Now I get to move this way. Slide the right leg away. Left knee comes in towards the body. Find a little bit of a stretch. And then using your right hand, let's guide. Take that left shoulder off the floor. Glide yourself all the way to the left. So the left knee comes down to the floor. Keep your right hand nice and steady. Left hand to that left shoulder and rotate and twist through your body. You can keep that left arm bent or you can extend it. If extending it means lifting your knee up off the floor, then keep it soft. You can actually keep it by your hip. There's all kinds of positions for your left hand. So don't force it, it doesn't have to be on the floor. And again, let that left shoulder rise up, no big deal. You can look up or you can look out to the side, your choice. Easy, steady breathing. Just try to keep that left knee down on the mat or on the floor. Steady movement. This can feel pretty intense when you keep that left knee down. So just honor your body, stay with it. One more breath. And exhale. Slowly releasing that left arm in, left leg comes back in. Hug that left knee in, either point or flex of the right foot. Let's bring both knees into the chest just to even out the sides. Roll around, give your lower back a little massage. Maybe side to side, circles, half circles, you choose. And when you're ready, if there's any other posture your body feels or craves today, it could be another bridge, it could be another twist, it could be a halasana with your legs up and over. It could be just about anything, a happy baby. Just feel what your body needs, honor that, and then eventually make your way to Shavasana. So as we find our Shavasana, try to relax into the muscles. Let the breath move rhythmically, steadily. Slowly and gently, the next exhale breath. Let's begin to bring awareness back to the room and add a little gentle movement to the body. The fingers, the toes, the hands, the feet, wrists and ankles begin to move. From here, go ahead and bend your knees, come to a constructive resting pose by planting your feet on the floor. Hand at your belly, hand at your heart. Deep inhale, slow, easy exhale. And gently, as you're ready, rolling over onto one side, using your bottom arm as a pillow. Just take a moment here. Continuing to deepen your breath. And then as we exhale, maybe letting the forehead come to the floor, inside that arm, feeling ourselves rooted, connected to the earth below us. And as you're ready, maybe sliding that top leg away, pressing into the top arm and sliding the bottom arm in towards the body. Try to keep your head low, coming back to a comfortable seated position. Keeping the chin tucked towards the chest and just kind of finishing up the way we started, moving the head a little bit side to side, the chin towards the right shoulder, chin towards the left shoulder. And then inhale, gently lift the chin, keep the eyes closed or softly gazing down, hands into prayer position. We'll seal our practice today with one last sound, Om. Inhale for Om. May we feel protected and safe. May we feel contented and pleased. May our physical body support us with health and with strength, and may our lives unfold smoothly with ease. Namaste.